Was it? Oh, dang.
So you were talking anyway, Jim.
I was.
Listening to you anyway, Jim.
What a very...
Is the
Yes! Sorry.
Look at this beautiful place that we're in right now.
We've got a very authentic lead-in, I think, from you, Jim.
I did. I think we did as well.
Beautiful Jim. It was
I'll have to go back and look at the VOD because I have no idea what I was saying.
I don't know what I was saying either, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm not paying attention.
Well,
You're having a good read there?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a story which we'll no doubt cover at some point, but it's been a long time since I bought a magazine, and I bought PC Power Play today. So
Oh.
1996.
Holy crap! Is that still going?
I didn't realise...
It's still going.
Yeah, wow.
It's still going. And the reason why I bought
What, Mike? What?
Pete's... We can't
Can't
hear
he
Pete. What do you mean you can't hear Pete? That's my favourite part of the show.
How's that?
Now? Is it
that
now?
work?
Can
Yeah.
you hear Pete now?
Yeah, that was my bad. I had the wrong
Oh,
volume knob.
no.
set.
Oh,
Why
no.
did why did
The
everybody
only-
leave me in charge of the buttons?
The only way that you're going to make that up, mate, is the fact that we all know that you were in here with your shirt off earlier today, setting the place up. No, the reason why I got this was because there was a story about Activision and Xbox, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Speaking of having your shirt off,
Geralt,
You just heard me go, oh!
you were quick on that, weren't you? Far out.
my
Sorry.
pants were on though.
Charlie
Had
Golf!
Witcher, like, in my brain for the last year.
Charlie Golf's here as well. Everybody, clap him in. Charlie Golf.
Yeah, woo!
We got to get a camera on Charlie Golf.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, every now and
Side.
again, it'll be very good. Welcome to the new studio.
How good is this? It's
So great.
Cool. I really love the TV screen behind us here. This is so bloody cool.
Yeah. Charlie recorded my reaction when I walked in, and I was like, ooh, it looks so like...
It feels real.
Like, because I saw the pictures, but like just being here just feels good. It feels so
It
good.
does feel good.
Don't need my bucket anymore.
Yeah, you can sit down.
I-
You
Well,
don't-
you could
you
just
don't
use it
just-
as a feet rest now instead.
Oh, I could.
Actually
I could.
true,
Look,
yeah.
It's nice, but I don't look as short now, so that's always good. That's
No
fine.
standing bucket anymore. We didn't even have like a goodbye ceremony for the standing bucket, which I'm disappointed about.
It has another use.
Yeah,
it's holding
it's-
up your
It's holding
My
up the
Tony
lovely.
Gallardi.
your
yeah.
Tony Gallardi.
So for all of
sign.
our millions of like interstate watchers and the billions around the world that tune in every week to Game On Australia's weekly show, that is Perth great Tony Gallardi sitting behind me, sort of thing. But it's me as Tony Gallardi from a work thing that we had to do a little while ago called Aussie Az, and I've got the eyebrows for it. So that's the natural pick for me. I thought it was a bit racist, a bit stereotyping, but you know what? I'll run with it. Kaiju Kai is here. Hello, my friends.
Hi, I think White Monkey's here too, and Gamma. Actually, I actually brought the tablet over. So
You
I
brought
can
the
read
tablet.
it, and then I'm trying to read it off the monitor. But I think it's dead.
Fantastic.
Oh,
no, there it
it's
is.
Not. It's not. It's alive. It's fine. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gamma.
Amazing.
Magic Cast
Oh, that's a name I haven't seen for a while.
is here.
Yeah.
This is
Familiar name.
this is what happens, guys. Like the new studio brings all the girls to the yard. You ripper.
So it's not milkshakes, it's studios.
Studios.
Goa.
Yeah. Shall we dive in? What's going on?
I think we should. Let's start off. We'll get into our bloody good game of the
Also,
week.
Before we do,
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out with both of you. It's been a
Oh,
while
missed
since
you
the
too,
two of us
boo.
have been on.
Missed you
Nice.
too. Yeah, it does feel really good. I must admit, like walking in here tonight, seeing you guys,
Yeah.
was a wonderful, warm feeling.
It was
so,
good. This is the first time
yeah.
I've seen you, like, I say all year, like it's been like several months, but it feels like several months.
Well, it is so, and we work literally across the street from each other.
I know.
And
I know,
don't
we're
see each
neighbours,
other.
We don't see each other.
I know, we're busy. That's what happens. Passing
Let's
ships in the
see
night,
people.
mate.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes,
Sorry.
the bloody good game of the week. Thanks to our mates at Aussie Broadband who are with us again for 2023. Thank you, legends.
Aussie Broadband. Well, we're going to take turns for a bloody good game of the week now. There's just too many bloody good games to fit into one show. But I do have to make a confession about this one because I went full gremlin mode. You know, when it's like late at night and you're wearing like. Maybe not in this weather, but you're wearing a hoodie and your sweater and stuff, and you've got a packet of chips and soft drinks, and you've just gone like gremlin mode. That's what I did with this game. So it's called Dark and Darker. It's technically not out yet. It was available like a demo in testing. It is from Iron Mace. I think it's supposed to be coming out about April and May. If I was to describe it to people, I describe it as like an extraction, like a medieval extraction game. So think about Escape from Tarkov or DMZ. Like Call of Duty DMZ is probably the most recent big example.
Maybe like Marauders. Did you ever see that one?
No,
That was
I
kind
didn't
of a
see Marauders.
sci-fi. You go and you loot the place and you got to escape
It's
out
kind of
as
like
well.
that.
Yeah.
Like that concept sounds like pretty much on the money. So you go in, like before you even start, you've got a few classes to choose from. There's a fighter, there's a wizard, there's a rogue and things like that who all have their own different abilities. You go into this map and you get spawned in randomly. There's real players and there's, so it's like PvE as well. You basically just want to loot as much good stuff as you can, whether it be gear or it might be coins or collectibles, and then you want to extract alive is the idea. As this circle kind of creeps in on you, and you go out that little blue portal, and you're good as gold. And I did that a grand total of about, I reckon, 3 times out of my 100 of runs. It's very intense. Like, it's very, like, high stakes, like, high reward kind of situation.
What's the point of like making it to the portal and leaving with your gear? Is it like Tarkov in the sense that you do that, you get to keep everything, and then you bring it back for your next dungeon
Absolutely.
run? Are you making sure you're not getting hammered and then looted by PvE, all that sort of stuff? And then what's the end game?
Well, I mean, I guess there's what they are slowly introducing, because it's still like in testing and stuff, because very similar to Tarkov, they have like kind of merchants and stuff that you can sell to. They'll start having missions and things like that at some point as well,
Right.
for you to do certain things. It is very in-depth. I did try Tarkov, but there's something about, magic and skeletons and zombies and, other witches and things like that, as well as real players who are all out to do the same thing as you. Works really well. I think in the demo that I played, they had just introduced what's the word? Open voice chat, so you can chat to people around you, which I did try my hand out, and sometimes it worked really well. I made some friends, made some enemies as well.
I love that. Open voice chat's always roulette, isn't it?
I was like,
It's literally roulette.
sometimes I'm like, hi. And other times I'm like, oh yeah, get away. Yes, it just depends what mood I'm in. But yeah, no, I was just so addicted to it. It's just like some games you could be in for a grand total of like 2 minutes and you're dead, and not even, and you're like, oh, here we go again. And then other times, man, that adrenaline just gets you like pumping as soon as you leave that blue portal and you've got good gear and like just good shit, to go with.
Can I just say, there is nothing quite like that feeling. Like the one of the most amazing adrenaline rushes I've ever had from games are being the last 2 people in the final circle, and like always knowing it's kind of like playing Metroid Dread when you're trying to make your way through areas where the
Emmys were chasing you.
right, like that sort of stuff, and you just know that you're always peeking around every corner. There's always something to keep you moving. There's always that excitement. There's always that dread of whether or not you're gonna lose all of your stuff. You've got skin in the game that you don't get in a lot of other games, and I completely agree with you in the sense of like Magic, fantasy worlds, and all that. Like, that speaks to me as well.
Speaking my language,
yeah,
and obviously,
100%.
You've got inventory to play around with as well. So as much as I want to be like a loot goblin and take everything with me, I can't. I think they will introduce weight, like being an issue with how much you can carry as well, but it wasn't in there. So it's still obviously got a long way to go. The reception of it, like I found out about this through Tarkov players that Charlie and I would occasionally watch, and I went, oh, what's this? And initially on the surface, it might not look too much to look at the moment, but like, you know what? There was a bookcase I found, and I went to interact with a book, Secret Tunnel.
Oh,
There you go. That's
And
wicked.
I was like, I freaked out. I was like, this is so cool. It's like
Surprise and
Secret
delight.
Tunnel. Oh, it's just
Absolutely.
So nice. And I think when it comes back out for demo, you have to try it again.
Are there other layers to? It's called Dark and Darker. Big sexy 117. Welcome. Are there other layers to it? Like, are there skill trees? Are there levels? Are you?
Yeah,
you know?
there is a skill tree. Depending on what character you're playing, there's certain like upgrades or perks you can add to your character as you go. I think I like got up to level 20 and filled up like my main perks, and it's still very early days. So I think they are going to introduce more of a proper tree as such, whereas this one was, okay, you've hit level 10, you can add one of 10 of these perks to, like, you know, make your heavy weapons stronger or something, or you can add a different spell if you're a sorcerer and things like that. It is very, very kind of basic at the moment, which I think is good, and I'm kind of glad I've jumped onto it so quickly just to kind of get, you know, find my feet, because this obviously, this style, the genre isn't for everyone. Unless you've got the time to invest and the patience to go, okay, I'll run it again. You know, you get over things like gear fear, you know, losing all the good gear that you bring in on what's supposed to be a good run and just losing it to some idiot who comes and, like, stabs you in the back. Some little rogue.
Some idiot.
Yeah, some idiot. You know, like, rogues can go invisible. So, you know, they might just pop out of nowhere and just... It's good. It's very basic at the moment, and they're going to be adding more layers as they go. But I think it's scheduled for release in a few months, I think. So I've got my eye out for that one, because if I can jump onto this early and wrap my head around it as soon as I can, this is something I can really see myself investing into.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Does
really
look like
fun.
a lot of good fun.
Dark and Darker platforms, PC.
Steam. Just
Steam,
Steam,
just
I think,
Steam.
at the moment, yeah. Sorry, console players.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future. It's still very, very early days, so...
Shout out to White Monkey, who has noticed the pillow on my crotch. I agree with what Charlie Golf has said. Just really likes Dark and Darker.
Also...
Won't say what Kaiju said. Kai, let's not say that. Let's not go there.
Sorry, I don't think this has been shouted out yet, but this was a while ago. Sticks, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. You've subscribed for 61 months, and they've gone, new studio, new goer.
Yeah, boy. New studio, same old goer.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's bloody good game of the week. Dark and Darker. Check it out.
Thanks, Aussie Broadband.
Thank you. Legends.
So bloody good. So
Look at that shot. What a great
Look at
shot.
that. Look, I was getting so comfy. I was just like,
Gee
oh, yeah.
whiz, you guys. This is some profesh shit.
as I reach around my body to load up the next story there, we'll sort something out there. I'm just holding on to the Steam Deck right here, so I can
it's
just
good.
keep changing the scenes. This is great. I feel like I'm playing a Game Boy or something, because
You're playing the game of Twitch. That's exactly what you're playing. You are guiding these people through like a Sherpa. Hit us with what's going on next, mate. What are we jumping into today?
So last week, you and I, Pete, we had a good chat about what's going on with Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. To catch up for those that may have missed the news, it's looking like it's getting harder and harder for Microsoft to actually buy Activision Blizzard. The FTC, I think it is, in the US is suing to block the sale, and the body in the UK as well is looking at it and going, oh yeah, no, we don't like this either. So as part of that, I think to put a bow in their own, or put an arrow in their own bow, so to speak, Microsoft have come out and actually physically signed a deal with Nintendo that will guarantee COD will be on Nintendo platforms for the next 10 years. There's a couple of things about this, because I really want Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard. I think they will be great for that company. I can see how it would kind of limit competition, but I don't think it's that big a deal when it comes to Activision Blizzard. I don't think COD is going to go anywhere. I think it's still going to be on all the platforms. It may come to Game Pass, which will impact sales, but I think it will, in the long run, be a good thing for Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. This, to me, like, I like that they've come out and done it, but it does just feel like a response to what's going on with those two bodies saying they don't like Microsoft buying Activision, and it just kind of feels like more a legal move than Nintendo, here you go, you can have this stuff.
There's only one thing I would say to that point, and that is you don't just sign a binding 10-year contract between two major console companies, like off the back of being worried about this whole Activision Blizzard thing falling over. You know, like I think we've seen this announcement today. We've seen the tweets come out. Hey, gamey game face. And that's all well and good. But this feels like a tough thing to just come out and go, bang, we're announcing this at the spur of the moment to try and sort of curve off what's happening with the FTC and with the UK and so on and so forth, right? I mean, there's got to be a lot going on behind the scenes for them to come out and go, we've signed a binding contract, guys, 10 years. We're going to put all of our Activision and Call of Duty stuff on Nintendo. I'd think it's more than just a knee-jerk reaction. I think it's incredibly clever by Microsoft because the whole point is, guys, you can't do this because it's going to stuff competition, as you mentioned. And yet they're coming out and going, no, like we're putting it on competitive platforms. Yeah. My only thing is, I'm going to find Nintendo quite alien to play a Call of Duty game on.
Well,
sorry.
I was just about to say, Stormie and I were talking about that before the show, and we can't remember, well, I personally can't remember the last time Nintendo had a COD.
I think...
Has it ever had a COD?
Yes, I will fact check, but I think it was World at War on Nintendo Wii. That was the last time there was a COD game on the Nintendo.
Oh, and if it was Nintendo Wii, then it would have been like a COD Lite.
I'll double check,
right? Because like it was like all the FIFA games that got released on Nintendo Wii, for example, were all bullshit like light versions of those games. They didn't have the full rosters. They didn't have the full teams. They didn't have the full gameplay. Even the gameplay itself was more like a management mode than it was actually having the complete full asset lists and abilities that you can play with any of those games. COD Ghosts on Wii U. Thank you, Charlie Golf. We really need to get that camera on Charlie Golf.
Yeah.
COD Ghosts on Wii U. Okay.
They had Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on Nintendo DS.
Oh my God.
On Nintendo DS?
Oh my God.
Can you bring that up? Is that possible?
Apparently.
Sorry, I know we're in the new studio, guys, and it's going to take a little bit of like mucking around and getting used to and so on and so forth. But I really need to see what Call of Duty on the Nintendo DS looked like. And was this dual screen?
I'm going to go with shit.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's interesting, right? Because you wouldn't associate Nintendo with COD.
God, no.
Right? But in saying that, like, Nintendo has been bringing a really big variety of games. Like, you know, you can call me out if I'm wrong here, but you would usually associate Nintendo with being like a family-friendly console and things like that. But, you know, they've put out games like The Witcher, Dead by Daylight, you know. All these
Bayonetta made it start on the Wii or Wii U, I think.
Well, even like, I guess I'm talking about the more like harder, like the R-rated stuff. So it's kind of like, I could see it, but I don't know if that's going to be like my go-to console to play COD. But for other people, that obviously might be different.
So we're just watching right now on the screen Call of Duty. What Call of Duty was this again? Modern Warfare. Right, so Call of Duty 4 and Nintendo DS was a dual screen. So you obviously would have been playing on the lower screen. You would have had your maps on the top screen. You would have had the stylus pen that you could use as well. And I guess like Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 4 graphically would have run quite well on the DS because we're going back quite some time now. One of the things that concerned me about seeing Call of Duty games on the Nintendo Switch is that I just don't know whether or not the Switch's hardware is capable to run it. And what's your multiplayer experience going to be like as well?
It's going to end up as one of those cloud versions. Like Control came out on the Switch as a cloud version, and half for the processing will take place in the cloud.
I don't know about you guys. I feel like we might have touched on this before, but have you guys ever had a good experience with Nintendo Switch Online?
What's the context of that though?
Like as many times as I tried to play Super Smash Brothers with friends online.
Oh, okay. In terms of multiplayer, no. I could honestly say I've probably had a handful of good experiences playing Mario Kart multiplayer, and you know, taking on players from around the world. But in all honesty, it's really choppy to say the least.
Yeah.
When you're playing Those matchmaking's really difficult, I find as well. I don't know if that's just because there aren't as many people probably sitting in those lobbies as a stretch of the broad population. But yeah, I find the overall experience is just a much smoother, much greater experience on your Xboxes and your PlayStations. And they've pumped so much effort into creating these great multiplayer devices, right? Now, the other thing about Nintendo and Nintendo Switch is how's your chat going to work? Are they still running chat through like a third, like a roundabout app?
It's through the app.
Yeah.
Still,
See, that's bullshit. Like multiplayer, the entire reason why you play multiplayer is to yell at randoms or to yell at your friends. Like that's the entire reason why you're playing multiplayer. You need that level of communication in multiplayer. To have to circumvent that in like almost what feels like a third-party app outside of like nice organic chat that's inbuilt into everything, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
You were talking about before about it like being able to
Okay,
run.
sorry. I
Switch.
just need to check on Pete. Yeah,
I'm really good, guys. I'm having a great
I
time.
was just like,
I'm having a great time. I'm in the new studio and life's good.
no, it's fine. No, you're talking before about how will it run on the Switch. Yeah, look, I think that's a whole other conversation as well. Because, I mean, think about it, like, might not be the same way, but, you know, there's COD Mobile and PUBG Mobile and things like that. But in saying that, you know,
Not
phones
Apex
are getting
Mobile
really
anymore.
good these days. Phones are getting pretty snazzy, pretty powerful. In saying that, like, I just don't know if Nintendo is just going to be able to produce that same COD experience for everyone else on a Switch handheld console.
And I don't think it will either. And I don't think Nintendo particularly care, if I'm being honest.
I don't think they do.
I don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they do.
I wonder what Microsoft has given up in this deal.
What do you mean?
Well, recently you've seen GoldenEye 64 come back. It's gotten the
So good.
I need
to talk to you about that. We'll come back to that.
But to make that happen, it required a lot of moving parts because it was. I remember looking back, going years and years ago, the rights to that game were ridiculously complex. Like Nintendo held the rights to the GoldenEye game. I think Activision held the rights to Bond games in general. Microsoft owned the assets for GoldenEye 64 because Rare made it and they bought Rare. And so there was just this mismatch of license headaches. So the fact that they've been able to get together and make that make that happen. It's come to the Xbox, it's come to the Switch and the Nintendo Online stuff. Actually, now that I've been talking that out, I wonder if this is what Nintendo had to do to get GoldenEye to happen.
Oh, that's not a bad point you make. Yeah, that's like eye for an eye stuff.
Yeah, because I don't think Nintendo care about COD. I think they would have gotten something else out of Microsoft to make them sign that deal.
Yeah. There is no doubt in my mind that Microsoft are getting a lot more out of this than Nintendo are. Even if COD's on there, I reckon even if you don't own any other console other than a Nintendo, you're probably not going to the trouble of playing COD on it.
Yeah.
I can't see, there might be someone out there that does, but I can't see most people going to buy a Switch for the purpose of playing Call of Duty.
God, no.
You buy a Switch to play Zelda, Mario,
Yeah.
you know,
Those
Kirby.
first-party IPs.
Yeah, like that's what it's there for. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say with regards to the you know what? Let me think about this. I'll come back to that point. You keep going.
Oh no, that was it. I just want to know why. Do you not like GoldenEye?
Do I not like GoldenEye?
Oh no, I feel like I've asked really. Are you a perfect dart person?
No. I really like. I think I've just found my Call of Duty story. I loved GoldenEye. Let's make it perfectly clear. I loved, and I'm using that past tense very specifically. Loved GoldenEye. I think it was great for its time. I have no Mila. Block your ears. Thank you, Charlie Golf. I have no fucking idea.
All right, all done.
All done. How the hell we managed to use strafing the reticle and stuff and targeting with the C buttons. I
didn't. I was forward and back, turn. Yeah, I didn't strafe. I didn't know strafing was possible in that game.
Bullshit.
No.
Right, okay, so, because a little while ago, I whipped out my N64 with a copy of GoldenEye, right? And it was going to be great. We were going to have a night. The kids were at mum and dad's house. Me and my wife, Liz, we ordered pizzas. We'd, gotten some drinks. We were going to have a night playing GoldenEye multis, bazookas in the basement, right? And plugged it in, turned it on, and just started walking around, like, targeting and stuff like that. And I looked at her, I was like, this is shit. This is a shit experience, but it's a shit experience in the shadow of what it is that we have now. Now, what I need to know is how you feel about whether or not that experience is any better with dual sticks, because I still think that you have to muck around too much with your targeting reticle using the right stick on Xbox. I just think it's too much of a cluster.
I would like to say something very quickly. Make a quick statement, okay, to millions of viewers around the world.
Millions of viewers around the world.
And, for anyone who might be new here, listening or watching on twitch.tv/GameOnOz, I started gaming really late in my life. When I say late, I probably started gaming about 18.
Okay.
So I didn't grow up with GoldenEye. So whenever I'm here on a show with you guys, I'm the one that's going to ask the questions. Maybe some people are too shy or too embarrassed to say they haven't played it, or, I've never experienced this game before. I've never heard of it or anything like that.
That's what makes you one of the great games talents in this country.
Anyway, okay. But as someone who never played GoldenEye before, we did the same thing. Charlie Golf and I sat down and he said, "You're going to play GoldenEye," because he'd already played it. Man,
And?
Ooh.
And?
Look.
It's a shit experience, isn't it? It's shit.
Every time I died, it got to a point where funny till absolute stress, where I would be like, yeah, and then just get like, every time I died, because I just got so sick of hearing that bloody tune every time I got hit by like a golden gun or got trapped in a corner or something. But yeah, God, those controls are awful. I don't know how you guys did it.
Have you played it on the box?
I haven't played the most recent one I played. Please block your ears, Xbox, and don't hate me. But there was the leaked Xbox Live Arcade version. There was a couple of years ago that leaked, and I had to go at that. And I only played the single player campaign, and it looked really good. And to me, it played well. But yeah, I haven't jumped back in with the multiplayer.
I think we need to bring GoldenEye to the studio.
We want to bring GoldenEye to the studio.
I'll 1v1 you all. Because you know what? Charlie Golf didn't tell me auto aim was a thing for the first half an hour.
Yeah.
I was versing him. Didn't tell me there was auto aim. And I was like, how are you shooting me so well? I don't understand. Because I'm looking down the sights every time. And he goes, babe, you don't have to do it. And I was like, what do you mean? I do that for every game. And he goes, these are simpler times.
GoldenEye was good for its time. Shit experience.
Yeah, it is. Like, I felt like throwing myself against the wall, like not very far into it, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. But the music is so good, though. You gotta admit the music.
Well, I think as well the thing, like you have experienced this as well, Pete. It wasn't the game so much. It was you hang out with your mates and you played this game.
Yes, absolutely.
And you just did stupid things in it. And that was more because the Nintendo 64 was the multiplayer console. Like,
absolutely, it was.
It's the
100%.
only older retro console that you could plug 4 controllers into. Yeah. And
weirdly enough, like you could do it with the PS1, but you needed that really awkward like boomerang multi-tap thing.
Actually, and the Super Nintendo had it as well, but I don't think there were many games that
not really,
it.
No. So we're going way back.
So a multi-tap is basically because PlayStation, Super Nintendo, they've got 2 controller ports. The multi-tap, you plug it in and it basically splits it out. So the multi-tap for the PlayStation, you plug it in and there were 4 extra controller ports on it. Yeah. But it's there weren't many games that supported it.
No, and I think that was the issue. I think like the sheer fact that the hardware of the N64 was native 4-player. Yeah, it was basically egging developers on to create 4-player multiplayer experiences. Yeah.
See, I don't think I could play GoldenEye like just through the stories. It was more fun. I actually did play with mates. There was 6 of us, so we all took turns for whoever had died the most, they passed on the controller. But just being around with mates, even as awkward and as it was to play, it was a bloody good time though.
Yeah, good experience. You know why? Because you're all in the same room together.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Yeah, we don't get that shit anymore because whenever we played plenty of multiplayer games together. When's the last time we played a game in the same room at the same time? We never do it. No. I found the story.
Ooh. Tell us.
Can I read you this? So it might be nothing because I haven't gone through the entire story. But I'm going to read it to you anyway. This is off PC Power Play. And I picked this up earlier today in a news agency just because I haven't picked up a magazine in a long time and I was feeling a bit nostalgic. But also it's 2023 preview special, so it's got some really good stuff through it. But they jump in and have a look at Call of Duty, and it's a story by Rich Stanton, who's part of the team there, and I will just go through this. Now, he goes on to say there were 2 years between the first two games. He's talking about COD. Ever since it's had a yearly entry like clockwork, we all know that. No other shooter releases like this, but that reliability has become a huge factor in COD's growth. Over the last decade, especially, it has come to inspire fierce loyalty among its huge fan base. Before, in 2020, Warzone offered a free-to-play COD and saw huge success. This year's mainline entry, so for 2023, Modern Warfare 2, as good as the series has been in many years, but perhaps even bigger was the release of Warzone 2.0. It goes on about this for a little bit longer, and then it moves into COD by some distance is the anti-competitive element they're most worried about. Let's put some numbers on this. Warzone has attracted more than 125 million players since launch, while over its lifetime the series has sold 425 million copies of the game. This all adds up to $30 billion in revenue. Those trying to block Microsoft's deal include Sony, which has made COD a pillar in its opposition. It argues that COD is so successful that its removal from non-Microsoft platforms would damage them. COD exclusivity is only one issue. Opponents of the deal also argue that should COD ever be combined with Game Pass, this would risk becoming a monopoly and giving Microsoft an unparalleled advantage over competing services. There is an active deal with Sony that keeps COD off Game Pass, which shows this is not a new concern. Activision Blizzard's shareholders have long since approved the Microsoft deal. Due to sheer size, it's going to have to navigate the regulators. We know all this. The EU and the US Federal Trade Commission, FTC. And the deal is being reviewed by 16 different government bodies. Now, he goes on to say, of all Activision Blizzard's many assets, the one that's causing conflict is a shooter series that some claim is now too big to fail. Right? Now, the whole point and purpose of that is that this game is so incredibly powerful that it has the opportunity to, and just let this sink in for a moment, to tip the scales so far heavily towards Xbox in terms of its power that it could be a nail in a series of nails in a coffin for PlayStation, right? And that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's
a really, really big deal. So you don't blame PlayStation for wanting to have a go at shutting this whole thing down.
We say that, but I remember back when the deal was first announced, they said it would make Microsoft the third biggest publisher of games behind Sony. So Sony is still bigger.
Were they talking about IP though? First party IP?
No, I think it was talking about publishing.
Really?
Yeah, and the amount. I vaguely remember something along that. I might have to have a.
I mean, like, because publisher and dev, two different things.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, have look that up.
So you can see, well, Sony's number one, Tencent second. This is according to results from Google going back to 2020, 2021 financial year. So Sony is the biggest, Tencent 2, Nintendo at the time were third, and Microsoft were fourth.
Can you do me a favor? Can you see if you can Google, in another tab, how much of Sony's revenue is driven by Call of Duty? Click on that story that says Sony was Activision Blizzard's largest customer.
Sony was Activision Blizzard's largest customer by revenue in 2020, with Microsoft rating fourth. This is from a website called Game World Observer.
So go down. Keep rolling down. Let's see if they've got numbers there. Stop. As can be seen in a spreadsheet below, Sony accounted for 17% of Activision Blizzard's total net revenue for 2020, around $1.37 billion. So, I mean, that is, sure, that's Sony accounting for Activision Blizzard. We're not talking about Activision Blizzard being the driver, but that's basically $1.37 billion worth of revenue that Sony will forfeit at some point down the track. Because I swear to God, if Microsoft will take it exclusive. I don't give a shit what anybody says. If you're Microsoft and you're not taking this title exclusive, you are stupid. You are so stupid. Why wouldn't you take it exclusive?
Well,
Anyway.
I think there's 1.37 billion reasons that you wouldn't take it exclusive right there.
Can imagine the
You
uproar.
reckon that they would let? Oh, mind you, I see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But how many of those would you bring across to? How many of those would come across to Xbox?
But,
And
but,
then-
but if
Very
they
begrudgingly, though.
but if
wouldn't
they
be
own-
happy about it.
Sure.
But it will do the job. Like,
Now, can I tell you something about that point? I was a fierce PlayStation person. Fierce. Like, fuck Xbox. That's how far PlayStation I was. Xbox sent me an Xbox Series X. I got Game Pass Ultimate. I've been a convert ever since. And it took me a long time to buy a PlayStation, not because I couldn't find one, I couldn't afford one, but because I was like, I'm so happy with Game Pass. I don't need this. I'm so happy with Xbox.
I was one of the very few lucky people who managed to pick up both the Xbox and the PS5 on their launches in 2020. Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
that
it
long
was.
ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
God.
it was. It was that long
Anyway,
ago.
Because, like, you can't deny, Sony has some really great first-party titles, right?
oh yeah.
I don't remember the last time I've touched my PlayStation since after I finished Spider-Man. I don't even think I went back to Horizon because, again, Game Pass is really, really good.
It's really good.
Don't get me wrong. I love PlayStation and I like it when I like it. Not so much that Spider-Man was an exclusive in the really, the bombed Marvel's Avengers game that did really badly.
Yeah.
That
Well,
kind
see,
of
this
that
is-
kind of peeved me a little bit, but it's fine. I still stuck with Xbox because Xbox wasn't going to do me dirty like that.
This
either.
is what annoys me about Sony though, because they have done stuff like that. And yes, COD is a much bigger game than Marvel's Avenger will ever be, especially now that it's
Especially
been
'cause
shut
it's
down.
dead now.
They're,
Right,
they're
yeah.
going to shut it down.
But Sony have done stuff like that, and that's okay. But and yes, I get that COD's a much bigger game, but it just it's pot calling kettle black to me, and I just think that. Like I've said, I think Microsoft will be good for Activision Blizzard as a whole. We've kind of narrowed in on COD, and yes, that is a big point of contention in all the legal framework that's being thrown around. But there is so much more than that. I think did I see like Candy Crush is part of, or was that ZeniMax that owned Candy Crush?
ZeniMax owns
Yeah.
Candy Crush. Yeah.
But even when you talk about Blizzard, Diablo 4 has just released their big trailer, or was it the opening cinematic? And there's WoW in there as well, which is still, I think, the biggest MMO in the world.
I have quite been enjoying the little boosts I get with League and Valorant with
Yeah.
Game Pass as well. It's only something small, and it's not the reason I have Game Pass before anyone comes after me. But it's a little bit nice to
No,
have
but
all the
the
champions
deals are
unlocked.
clever. They are clever deals.
They work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't tell me that if Sony weren't trying to buy Activision Blizzard, that they wouldn't be fighting as hard as what Microsoft.
Of course they would
Yeah.
be. And I can guarantee you that Microsoft would be blocking it every chance they get.
Yeah, I'd be worried. I'd be very scared, like, to see something as big as that go that you've held on to for so long.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
Charlie Golf.
yeah, I still don't think Microsoft. will-
Mila, sorry.
That's
Where are your shoes? Go put your shoes on. Just for context, my daughter's here tonight, and we're in my brother's plumbing factory, and there's shit everywhere. So
You know what we haven't had for a while, Pete, when we've done these in-person podcasts,
What?
is childish interruptus.
no, we haven't had childish interrupt us, and
Children
God
interrupting.
hopes it
Stormie,
never
yeah.
happens again. To be honest. Sorry, continue.
Where were we?
I've lost where I was now.
We
I'll
were-
tell you where we were. Here's a little something that I'm looking straight at the camera right now, right? For Microsoft, for PlayStation, for Nintendo, fuck off. The lot of you. All of you can fuck right off with your whole bloody blocking shit and buying shit and this, that, and the other. Just get around each other and make sure that the people, us, who support you and just love games for the sake of playing games, just don't get lost in the entire thing. All right? That's all I care about. I don't give a shit what's happening at HQ and who's pissing off who and who wants to blow up who or whatever, right? I just want me games. Let me play my games. Bang.
Mic drop.
Drop the mic.
Magic Cast.
Hey, Tyzy! Ty's here.
Magic Cast reminded me what I was going on about. Like I don't think Microsoft will make COD exclusive. Yes, I know they did it with Starfield and Redfall, so they've got a bit of a track record of doing that after they bought a studio. But like I said, like 1.37 billion Sony paid. Got Activision Blizzard got from Sony. I don't think Microsoft would be cutting that much money out of their.
Yeah,
thing.
true. If they own it, they're seeing that and going, no, let's leave it there. No, I agree with you there. I do.
Yeah. But that's more Activision Blizzard stuff. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm not sure of the time. I think Microsoft had till April to reply to the UK anti whatever it is commission that they were talking about there, and I'm not sure what's going on with the FTC in America, but time will tell.
You know what I can't help every single time you say the FTC?
What?
Won't let me be, but let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me. I can't help it. Every single time you say the FTC, that thing just rolls around in my head.
And you're
Eminem.
like, please let me go.
Bless you, white boy. Bless you, Eminem. Those are what we got. We've got like 10 minutes. This show's gone. This show's flown by tonight. Charlie Golf is currently he is so dedicated to this stream that he is currently taking my daughter to the loo, bless him, and he's still watching Twitch.
Chat.
He's still in chat.
Chatting.
He's so good.
Do we want to play a little game?
Yes, let's play a game. Let's play a
Would anyone
game.
like to play a game with us?
Let's play a game.
Okay, let's play a game.
We're going to play a game, and I want to see who can guess which quotes from this game franchise. You can guess where they're from, right?
Okay, people watching in chat, they can dive in as well.
Everyone can do it.
Thank you. 27 months from Drop Bear. 27 months, buddy. Guys, by the way, send us suggestions on how you think we should reflect and include you, the people who are subscribing to our channel, in this studio space. Like, is it pictures up on the wall? Is it signatures somewhere? Is there something dedicated to you that we can put up? If you are a subscriber to twitch.tv/GameOnOz, we'd love to hear your suggestions. How would you love to be enshrined in the new Goa studio? Okay, let's play.
Okay. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one quote at a time, right? Just to give you guys time to digest it, reflect,
Okay.
get yourself in the mindset, right?
Okay.
I'm going to start off maybe a bit easy, right? Just to warm us up. Oh, no, that's too easy. Hold on.
What are your
Sorry,
buzzers? What are your buzzers?
Well,
You know.
are we buzzing, or are we just gonna shout out the answer?
No, you should probably buzz in because
Let's
there's
buzz.
the overlap.
All right.
What's your buzzer? Straight. You going to be straight? You yell straight.
Okay, Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
You yell Jim.
I am.
Jesus.
It's a bit easier to say than straight.
I'm going to yell Jesus.
Jesus. Okay.
Which, by the way, there's a Jesus game coming out.
Oh, I saw that. That's so random.
No, I reckon it's going to be the game of the year. I reckon it's the game of the year. Okay, all right, okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start with this one. Your true face. What kind of face is it? I wonder, the face under the mask, is that your true face?
Your true face? The face under the mask?
Sounds like a Batman game, if I'm being honest.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it'd be which one? Which one? It'd be a Batman Arkham, but which Batman Arkham?
Are you working together or are you going against each other?
I don't.
Or are we just thinking out loud?
I think
Thinking out loud. We're thinking out loud. Jesus!
Go on.
Okay.
Pete.
I'm going to go with Batman Arkham Asylum. Damn it.
All right, I'm going to give you another quote.
All right.
But Jim, you get I reckon you get the first
All right.
buzz in.
Cool.
A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage. Now, it's not from the same game.
All right.
Oh, is this a different game?
No, this is from the same franchise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big franchise, so I couldn't just pick. But a sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage.
See, like, Ty's is saying Zelda, but, like, I mean,
Are you cheating?
if it's mask, like, where's the mask coming from with the Zelda stuff?
I'm kind of like,
Mind you, it could be Majora's Mask. It could be a quote from Majora's Mask.
yeah. I'm sort of thinking more fantasy game now, like, which is like, I'm kind of leaning towards like Witcher 3 or something like that.
I think the sword's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I think the sword is a metaphor.
But
I don't
then-
think it's actually... The sword is definitely a metaphor. Halo. All of them.
Number 1, you didn't buzz in. Number 2.
Jesus.
No.
Halo.
Jim, would you like a go?
Okay.
And then I'll bring it out to all of you.
Okay.
Wait your turn.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, so we got something about a sword, something about a mask.
Just take a stab in the dark. What's your gut tell you?
Come on. Step in the dark. I believe in you, Jim.
I honestly am drawing a blank.
Say Jim.
Jim.
Now say game. Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, sure. Let's go
No,
Mario Kart.
it's not. Okay, we're going to move on to the next game in a minute, but I'll give you guys one more quote. And when you
Okay.
realise this has all been from the same franchise, you're going to kick yourselves.
Okay. All right. Oh, one more.
You ready?
Yep.
You got to be ready to buzz in because
All
you
right,
guys
I'm ready,
will know
I'm
what
ready.
it is.
Okay.
It's too dangerous to go alone.
Jesus!
Go on.
It's Legend of Zelda.
It is Zelda. The first quote was from Majora's
Majora's Mask.
The second one is from Twilight Princess.
Son of a bitch.
How did I not get that?
I know. Also, you guys can't read off the screen because.
You know what?
Yeah, people are saying,
You know what-
people are answering the question.
Yeah, well, I have to say.
Okay, I won't look. I won't look. I won't look.
Technically won. No, actually, Ties did.
Ties did.
Ties won.
Ties.
Won. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sub resonance.
Charlie said that straight. Your Zelda fan pass.
Oh, I reckon.
Title's been revoked.
You know what it is? It's because Zelda games aren't voiced. So I skim read stuff. If
I was
Oh,
waiting.
you
Yeah,
skim read.
yeah, I know.
yeah, I do that in Zelda
Yeah.
games too. There's so much dialogue. It's bullshit.
Especially when you sit there and you mash the button, and then it gets to the end and you go, "Do you need to hear that again?" And you mash, and you accidentally hit yes again. And you go, mash.
You missed one of the great quotes from Zelda, by the way.
Which one?
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah. Ah. Yeah. All right. Okay, give us another one.
All right.
"Hey,
Hey,
listen,
listen. Hey. All right. We'll start simple.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
all from the same franchise. Again, it's not from a particular game. All from the same franchise.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I just had it and I lost it. And don't get me started on the futility of dusting a collapsed house.
Jesus. Dusting a
Jim.
collapsed.
Yes.
Animal Crossing."
No.
Mate, I
Incorrect.
went there too. Hey, I went there as well. Don't get me started on the futility of dusting a collapsed house. Can I have another quote, please?
Yes. Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Jim,
Yes.
Fallout.
It is Fallout.
Damn, son.
It is Fallout. It is Fallout.
Far out. Is that? Have you got the specific titles from those quotes?
So the last one I just said, that was from Fallout 3, I
Yep.
believe. It's when...
Alpine Wolf, what's up?
Let's have a look. And then the first one I gave out is... Do you remember Codsworth from Fallout 4?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We have time for another one?
I just don't dust, so it doesn't matter what condition
You know,
the house is in.
in a previous iteration of this podcast, when myself and my good friend Dan, the internet, started this thing off, we used to do a rant segment, and my
Yes.
first rant was Barjo when he was in Good Game and he gave Fallout 4 a perfect score, and I tore strips off him. And
Do we really want to get into Fallout reviews? And
No, we don't. We don't need to. No, we don't. We don't ever need to bring up what I gave Fallout 76 ever. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to do another one?
10 out of 10 would review again. All right, go on.
All right. Let me just get this one. No, that's a giveaway. Hold on. I just got to be very careful.
It was Wahoo, wasn't it?
Wahoo!
It was Mario.
It's in a Chris Pratt voice, though.
Oh, here we go.
It's blasphemy. That
I
looks
don't
pretty
even-
good,
I
hey.
don't know what that sounds like.
It actually looks pretty good. I got to
The movie
admit.
does look really good.
I'm going to
looks
see the
good.
movie.
Can I just
yeah.
say Charlie Day as Luigi? I love it. I'm
It
obsessed.
works.
I want
It
Like,
works.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Go
All
on.
right. That is fear. That is what I am.
That is fear. That is what I am. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Batman.
It is Batman.
Absolutely. I like that is 100%, even though I couldn't think of which particular Batman game is from, that is fear, that is who I am, is 100% a Batman quote every day of the week. By the way, while we're just on the subject, I'm just going to pivot one moment, all right? On the fact that we haven't all been together when and had a chat, or even just said out loud, right? Just how cool it is that Michael Keaton is returning as Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That trailer, like for those that don't know what you're talking about, he's in the trailer for the new Flash
Oh.
movie.
Which
When-
I'm even surprised is coming out. Just
Yeah,
by
I've got to
the
say,
vibe.
Yes.
me too.
Yeah, but now you know why they're probably so reluctant to like not can it like they did with Batgirl and stuff. It's got bloody Michael Keaton. in it.
Michael Keaton, I cried.
Mate, that I'm Batman. In that
Yeah,
movie.
and he's like, yeah,
Batman.
I'm
Yep.
Batman, and I'm like,
What
damn
are
it,
you?
Michael Keaton, and then like the suit and everything.
And it makes sense now why DC, on all of their socials and their YouTube, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, released a 2023 movie trailer version of the original Batman. Did you guys see that?
I didn't know.
So they put on DC's YouTube, right? They redid the original Batman trailer in terms of this is what a Batman trailer, like 1989 Batman trailer would look like if it came out in 2023. And now it makes total sense because they were just gearing up for the reveal of Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And I like it's so hard. It is so hard because there is so much of me that just wants to say, what's his name? Who plays the Flash?
Oh, Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, thank you. There's so much of me that just wants to say, Ezra Miller, for everything he's allegedly done throughout this entire episode, this movie shouldn't see the light of day.
No,
It shouldn't.
not.
Absolutely not. But also, holy crap, there's a big part of me that just is quite happy to turn a blind eye. And that's a sad thing. I'm not going to finish this podcast on a down note. But
I still have one more game for you guys.
That's a
to get.
sad thing, right? But anyway.
Well, it's going to be Flashpoint. You know that. It's
Yes.
Yeah,
So
they
we-
did say that movie was going
Yeah.
to reset whatever James Gunn has planned, which is very ambitious. But
And that's the thing. I think he's the perfect character to kickstart.
the only thing I know we're going on a bit of a tangent. The only thing I'm concerned about, which is what I'm seeing with the MCU at the moment, and as you guys know, and anyone who's watching knows, I'm a really big Marvel fan, and it pains me to say this, and Charlie Golf has said this as well. I feel like there's a little bit of burnout happening. There's a lot of quantity, but not as much quality as there was
100%. Yeah.
and that like we won't obviously talk about Ant-Man or anything because it's only a week old. But yeah, they just got to take it slow and just.
Quantumania has the same review score on Rotten Tomatoes that
the
Eternals.
Eternals.
It's
Oh,
tied
wow.
with the Eternals
Yeah.
right now.
As in critic review or audience review?
Audience review.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Which, audience review is you always take with a pinch of salt. But also there is I think it's completely reflective of the fact that there's burnout around Marvel stuff.
I think
100%.
so. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, okay. Last one.
Last game.
And then we're
right?
saying goodnight.
All right, everyone, last one. Now, there's some really good quotes from this franchise. So I'm going to try and do the vague ones first because they're absolutely killer.
Okay.
And then some of them might reveal themselves. So the first one is, I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
Oh, wow.
I know, that's like really...
I'll give you the death that you didn't have the spine to give me. It sounds medieval fantasy. That
Should we go to the next one? Or do you want to have a thing?
I'm going to
Chat
say
thinks,
I think bit of jeopardy here. I reckon if you call out your name, you have a go, and then you're out for the next. It's automatically over to the next person. They get a free shot.
Well, I'm waiting then.
Right.
Well, all right.
Mercury cast.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to decide whether because I want you guys to figure it out. Don't read the screen.
Oh.
Too late.
Don't read the screen.
Too late.
Because if I only read the ones that it isn't, then you're going to look looking for the ones that I'm not.
I'm not.
Okay.
But I will say no one in the chat's got it right yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
All right, should we go to the next one?
We're not allowed to look at the screen.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Keep flapping your mouth. It makes a nice target.
Damn. See, those almost sound like sound bites that you would find in Overwatch.
Yeah.
For example, you know,
I feel like I should be in like a studio to like say these lines over and over again.
Like that actually sounds like Reaper would say that line.
Yeah.
In from Overwatch. Keep
Is
flapping
that
your
your
mouth.
guess then?
Is it over?
So,
Are we going to the next one?
Go to the. No, I'm not ready to guess yet. Give us one more.
I'll give you two more.
Two more. Okay.
This one's kind of a giveaway to like part of the plot.
All right.
Twice you tried to destroy a life on Earth, and twice you failed.
Bugger it. Jim,
Yes.
is it Assassin's Creed series?
No, you're out,
Damn.
Jim.
Destroy a life on Earth.
Yeah, because
where-
like the Assassin's Creed series got really convoluted and like there were aliens involved and
Was there
all sorts
really?
of shit. Yeah.
I didn't see the aliens bit. Where was the
No,
aliens
because it
bit?
was like when they were chasing like the apple from Eden or something, and it turned out to be some alien artifact or something. And
Oh,
yeah,
no,
You know what it
mate.
is, Charlie?
Just
Yeah.
stick with Ezio Auditore, mate. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you need to do. Assassin's Creed, mind you, Black Flag needs a remaster or a remake. Thank you very much. I'll take that any day of the week.
like the
Yes, I'd
last
like the
quote?
last one, please.
All right. First, I rebuild Gaia, save life on Earth. Then I track you down and end yours.
Oh,
You know what it is
I'm
now.
pretty sure I know what it is now.
first I rebuild
First,
Gaia.
I rebuild Gaia, save life on Earth. Then I track you down and end yours.
Gaia, Jesus, Horizon.
It is Horizon.
Thank you.
It is Horizon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did it.
We need a little game tune.
Brah.
Did
When-
we
when-
all enjoy that?
I
Did
did.
you like that?
Yes, I liked that.
I think we had to like have a bit of a warm up one first. It's our
Yep.
first time doing it. But if chat likes this as well, yeah, Merc got it. And that's when I was like, no one look. No one look.
It's hard. I want to interact with chat, and I'm looking at the screen. It's going to be even harder when I get that second monitor and put
There
chat.
was
over
some
Yeah,
there.
right
really
there.
good
Yeah.
guesses there. Really good guesses.
Yeah.
Chat, if you enjoyed that, let us know and we'll bring it back next week. I reckon someone else though will pass the torch around. Maybe we'll give it to you because you won. You can
Yep.
you can pick
That
the next
Sounds
one.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably never get a turn at reading.
Oh, no.
Don't say that,
I believe
Jimbo.
you.
That's all we have time for tonight. It's bloody 7:37 here in the West. That hour's gone super fast.
So good. So much fun. So great being back in the studio with you guys.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Love it.
Nice.
You too. You
too,
too.
too.
You too.
Too.
You too.
Two.
Just before we sort of bugger off for the evening, head to GameOnOz.com because there's a lot going on there at GameOnOz.com at the moment. Plenty of stories, plenty of stuff for you to read. We've launched a TikTok as well, game_on_Oz, AUS, if you want to go and check it out on TikTok. And we're on Instagram. We're on all of the other socials. You have to be these days. And yeah, I really just want to leave chat with the please send us how you want to be enshrined in the Goa studio if you're subbing. Okay, we need that suggestion. If you want to be enshrined in the Game on Australia studio, give us suggestions as to how you would like that to happen. If you would
Maybe
like,
you could have a poster of yourself as Tony Gallardi up
you
the
could
back.
so have your poster as yourself as Tony Gallardi. If you're subbing, we could put pictures up on the wall, signatures. We can deck this place out. Maybe we get a PO box and people can send in cut off your finger or something. Send it in. No,
You can wear it as a
okay.
necklace.
Right? Yeah.
Nice.
No.
What about big
No.
toes? They might.
Big toes are fine.
Toes are worse. You're
vi-
getting worse.
Vial of blood, is that okay? I don't know. With pick, big sexy, 117, though if your gamer tag is big sexy 117, very interested to see that pick. So send them on in. We'd love to see the suggestions. Okay.
Cannot wait. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to follow us on our socials. We've got TikTok now, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz. Instagram, on the Instas. And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye.